good. I'm good. That's
You have to buy anything in
Watch it,
the road
watch it.
again.
That's
No
not.
ideas.
I'm trying to get in a circle. You going in a circle? I ain't getting it. Why Matthew coming for video? And happy Christmas Eve. Yesterday's video was posted on what we in Trinidad call Christmas Adam, because Adam came before Eve. So it's now Christmas Eve. Yesterday Christmas Adam, today Christmas Eve, and tomorrow is Christmas Day. So yesterday we spoke about how we would clean and stuff. Look over here. So yesterday we spoke about how we would clean and stuff for Christmas and how we would prep our homes, and we just touched very briefly on what the food situation looked like. Now, at the end of each day in my house when I grew up, our parents would then let us listen to local stories. If you hear them rustling in the background, that's my daughter. Oh, don't you love kids? Anyway, so at the end of the day, when we were finished cleaning and all of that, my parents would put on records with local folklore. It was narrated and spoken. I think we call it spoken word by people like Paul Keynes Douglas. Paul Keynes Douglas was one of our most noted poets and speakers. Stories about the Ladia Bless and the Duens. Ladia Bless is a woman in folklore who have one good foot and one cow foot, and she pretty, but is afraid of fire. So when you strike her match, she would be gone and she could move like the wind. A Dwen is a baby that died before it had a chance to be baptized, and the spirit wouldn't rest, so it would come back, but the feet would be turned backwards. So when you see these feet, or sense the spirit around, you would then run, and you'd be thinking you're running away from it when you'd really be running towards it because the feet are backwards. There would be stories about the Lagahoo, Papa Boa. I mean, endless stories about our folklore and our folk tales, and we would listen to this every evening. Now, you would think that we would be tired every year listening to these records. This one I'm speaking about in particular is called Tim Tim. But we just won't. We just enjoyed it immensely. So every evening, the work is done for the day, we would sit down and we are listening to Paul Keynes Douglas. Sometimes we would throw in other things like Albert Laveau, as he narrated The Dumpling Ghost. And all our local stuff, our local part. My parents really tried to immerse us in what was Trinidad and Tobago so that we could have enjoyed our culture. We were not really allowed to always watch the Lifetime movies and the Disney movies and stuff that came later as we were teenagers and more grown, and we made our own choices. And I find that even today, for my children, I myself played them the same stories, the same law, because it's just enjoyable. It's just a part of Christmas. So you'd be lying down. Usually we're all in the living room together, and we have the Christmas trees and the lights flickering, and as the lights are flickering, we are sitting down and we are listening to Paul Keynes Douglas tell us about the Ladia Bless. So what follows next? In Trinidad and Tobago, after you finish Christmas cleaning, the cooking now actually begins, and cooking is usually at least a 2-day, maybe more, process, because you have to bake your ham, you have to bake your turkey, you have to make your pastels, which in itself is a tedious, lengthy process, because you have to make the cornmeal, stuff the cornmeal, wrap it in your fig leaf, steam it. It's a process. So we would actually begin the process of preparing the foods for Christmas, and these foods, of course, I will be sharing with you in detail. I will try to film the chef. My husband is a chef, as he cooks, so you all can see like what actually goes into the process of making our food, because our food is as important to us as the cleaning, which is as important to us as the decorating. Now in my house, my mother never wanted to put up decorations. I say my house. When we grew up, my mother never wanted to put up the decorations too early because she wanted that Christmas Day to be fresh, to be new. So we would find ourselves from Christmas Eve morning all the way to after midnight putting up the last minute decorations. It is when the Christmas curtains just went up. The carpet and everything would be down, but the curtains themselves would now be going up while my mother is cooking. Lights would be going up, tree would be going up, all other decorations. We'd be putting out bowls of candy, putting out bowls of snacks so that as we pass we can eat, because now is when the festivities begin. We would be going and we'd be singing parang. Parang, During the Christmas season and while the cleaning is taking place, on weekends from Thursday sometimes to Sunday, we were in a parang group called Los Caminantes. And in this parang group, we would be going from place to place, singing parang and performing parang and shows, so that people would be able to look at us and participate in the music and the vibes. We would be singing, shaking the marac, beating the drums, and just the very rhythm, which is actually could be dated back to part of our African heritage. You'd feel the beat of the music as it moves us, and it was just a part of it. And we would perform parang in parang shows all the way through to Christmas Eve. Myself, my sister, my father, he was the bass player, we would all be singing parang. There were other shows that were available that we would take part in. There was something called Sing Face Supper, where it was a competition, and it was all in good fun, where we would go forward and we would sing and we would, see what prizes we would win, all towards having fun on Christmas. Not a nice dark color. Hold on. Look like something on there. Hard looking. On the hand,
I'm still a little dry.
That was a mistake. Ugh. This is a Christmas video, I think, so. Yeah, Christmas lips. Christmas videos need Christmas lips.
We don't have any red jackets.
What happened to the red jacket? Oh, for you? Oh, okay.
You have red jackets?
No. There's another requirement.
Okay, then this one?
No, this is Christmas enough. He matches Santa. Okay, Santa.